What is up? It's your boy A-Rock back in the kitchen, about to mess with this guitar a little bit. I figured I would take it out and finally lay it all out and check and make sure that every bit of the parts were actually here. Because there's one little bit that I'm worried about, and that is the tuners, the machine heads. Yep, because this has a unique 3x3 layout for the tuners. So I want to make sure that, well, they didn't send me a straight 6 set of tuners or something of that nature. You know what I mean? All right. So we're going to lay this all out. Put the body out. Get this neck out of here. Get the neck out of there and get the neck laid out. All right, now we'll grab these parts and lay these parts all out and make sure everything's here. And like I said, that everything is what it's supposed to be. Yep. We got the back plate for the body. We got our accessories here, the whammy bar and the cable and the Allen wrenches that came with it. But this is what we're trying to get into today. Yeah, we're going to get into this bag of parts and make sure that, like I said, everything is there and it is what it should be. It seems like they've got everything pretty good, pretty well individually packaged. There's the electronics. There's the pickups and the pickup rings. Now, the pickups themselves, I won't be using those. I'll actually be using a nice set of pickups I got off of Amazon. They're a ceramic set of Invader-style pickups. Yep, I went and figured out that I was wiring them wrong, so I'm going to put them in this one and wire them the right way and see how they come out. Yep. Alrighty, there's the pickups. There's the back plate for the body. There's the set of strings that I was hoping it would have. There's the springs and the hook for the back. Here has all the tuners. And it looks like they actually are the tuners that go with this guitar. Yep, we'll have to figure out what bag of screws that goes to. These bags of screws aren't labeled, so they're going to be fun to figure out. Yep. But that's alright, we'll figure them out as we go here. Like those ones are easy, those are the neck sets and the neck bolts. There's the truss rod cover. There's the knobs. And then there's the bridge. I actually like the bridge. The bridge looks like pretty good high quality metal. It doesn't look like any crazy casting marks or anything like that. Of course, the block just looks like a cast block. But the bridge actually looks really, really nice. The chrome is nice on it. Yep. Alrighty. Alright, that's everything. So, we'll get this better laid out here. There's that. Now there's all that. Yeah, so it looks like everything's here. All of the tiny screws and washers and sets and everything are here for the tuners. Now let's take these tuners out and make sure there are 3x3s like they should be. Alrighty. There's the hardware. Alrighty, so we should have, let's see here. There's one. There's two. There's three. There's four. There's five. And there's six. Alrighty. There is all 6 of the machine heads that are supposed to be there. Yep. They even have the holes right where they should be and everything. So they're going to orient in there and they're going to look real nice. Alrighty. Cool, cool. Now, what I wanted to do was I was thinking about modifying this body by cutting it a little bit, okay? Because I don't really like the shape of the body. It emulates an ESP style guitar, And I don't like the top hook because it looks like a finger, and I don't like the back end because of the way it's pointed. I like the back end to be more comfortable when you're sitting with it. Yep. Alrighty, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get in my box, find my pencil. It's right there. Alrighty, now what I've done here is I've laid a line along this hook across the top where I would like to cut it at. And what I'm going to do is later on, when I go to actually cut it, I'm going to run a piece of tape across it. That way I know my line is absolutely straight when I go to cut. Yep, but anyway, I wanted to cut down that top hook a little bit. And then, of course, this bottom one, I don't like the bumps that are on it. As you can see, there's little bumps on it. And I've taken my pencil here and I've kind of just marked just taking the bumps off. Yep. Now what I want to do is I want to run some ley lines with this yardstick I have here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it to where I'm running the ley lines that I need first from the machined parts of the pickup holes, because those holes are machined to be perfectly in line with the neck and the rest of the guitar. So I'm going to use 2 ley lines, one on each side of the pickups. And then I'm going to find my ley line in the middle by measuring on both ends and seeing where it's at. Alrighty. Now let's see if we can't measure this here. Looks like, let's see here. Inch. 3.5 inches on the nose. So it would be, looks like 1 3/4 inches. Well, no, it'd be, hey hon, what's half of 3.5 inches? It'd be 1 3/4 inches, wouldn't it? Yeah, it'd be 1 3/4 inches. Yeah, it would be 1 3/4 inches. Yep, it would be 1 3/4 inches. So now we have our ley line in the middle. If I can get it down here out of the way of the neck. Alrighty, now we'll lay our ley line down the middle of the back end. Alrighty, now we'll take that over just a little bit. We'll flip this over. Alrighty. And then we'll find our mark here and we'll mark her straight down. Yep. So basically, we'll do just about the same thing with the back hole for the springs. We'll run ley lines for it. And then we'll measure where our ley lines are for it. Cool. And then right dead in the middle, let's measure here. Yep. 2.5. So yeah, 1 1/8. 2 1/2, 1 1/8. Yep. So that's the middle. Alrighty. Now the whole reason I was doing that was because I wanted to lay the lines so that I know exactly where the middle of this body is on the back side. Because the back side, once I get the back plate on and get the first build going here, I'm going to, of course, mark out some lines where I want to do some cuts on this back end. I'm going to cut the back end out with double insets, sort of like the Ultra Beast guitar that I made. Yep. I think she's going to be pretty cool when I'm done with her. But yeah, I'm going to make a couple of videos about this guitar. They'll keep coming pretty steadily. I'm going to try and make one at least every couple of days if I can. I know I'm going to mess up a little bit here and there because I'm not very good with my editing and stuff. But I'll do my best to try and keep posting videos for everybody. Alrighty, thanks for hanging out with me and thanks for checking out this guitar a little bit more with me. Hope you guys have a good day.